swing on them. So I like the double tank look with the healing. Both teams with a similar sort of style or idea, but I want to see how those points of difference in the brawler picks change the outcome.
Frank obviously going to be swinging on them like you mentioned, but I think importantly and notably has a wall break option, which I don't think Hank's going to necessarily love to see. I know Barley won't love to see it. Charles now diving in. What? Early lead here for SSG, and Sands meets him. Herbal Tonic's going on the ground, so I did say Barley is not a support brawler, quote unquote, but he does have a support feature.
All right, Chino falls. OG now in dragon form, and Kodo G are able to force SSG back off the point. You do not mess with Draco when he's in this form, and he's been able to cycle those supers, which is big. Chino getting flattened here. Second best knows he's the sacrificial lamb in Stein in that situation, and this has allowed Kodo G to get a bit of a lead. Watch out now. Last stand popped. Kodo G able to cycle a couple supers there, and second best doesn't care. He's getting in to break the map apart. There's the super. Not a hyper, but Bobby is brought down nonetheless.
Second best with a nice play there. Gets the wall break, gets the tag, and survives. So now OG can, on this right-hand side, apply a little extra pressure. Chino scoops him up, and now the full SSG roster marching to the middle of the map. They will take over the hot zone.
Hank's going to be a problem, and Kodo G don't have a long-range thrower that can really punish it. Second best just wants to open up the map. Deny Hank those good angles. Now Kodo G can work the right side of the map a bit more safely, but you still need to deal with the fish torpedoes out in the open. OG's able to bring Sands down. Barley out of the game for now, and you see he does have the healing star power, so it does give him a bit more durability. Oh, that's big from OG. Now, Kodo G needs to do some serious work in catching up in this game. Sands, lucky to be alive, healing tonics himself just to make him a relevant threat, but here comes that Frank super. Second best, opens up the map a little bit more now. 78 plays 89. Kodo G still have work to do.
OG has been so good in this set so far. He's going to have to keep putting in that work, though. It's not enough. On to match point for SSG. Kodo G are now going to have to go 2 straight. This one is really heating up Uber.
But it takes time. And when you're going up against a Hank that has the gadget to mitigate incoming damage, and your damage comes in smaller increments, you're going to do less.
Barry's heals essentially have to be more than the damage that Barley is outputting, I think. And I think an issue there, Charles towards that mid-game kind of disappeared. He was getting taken down a lot, which is great on SSG's side. It's a good focus. Kodo G in the corner will go down. Super available for Charles. He's going to be working alongside second best, who is dipping his toes in and out of this hot zone. Really good job playing the objective, but once again, we're going to see this SSG have a full 3-stack in the middle. Charles, though, immediate response. Second best, swiping away. OG, Dragon's Breath trying to connect with the other end. It will scare the SSG side off.
It's going to force them away and force another healing tonic use. Although Kodo G spent a lot of that time off the point because of the threat of Chino behind them. And here's where the issues creep in for Kodo G. Just how good is their composition with retaking map control against this Hank? That's why Hank is so good in general. OG dancing around here. Notice he doesn't have the gadget that knocks up. He does need last stand in this particular matchup. And now Space Station Gaming have just had more durability, more sustain. They've been able to stay on the point for longer now, and it's to the tune of about a 20% lead.
Charles didn't get much value out of that super either because Jackie used her super to scoop him off it. Chino now interacting really well with second best. That's easy money for the SSG side. Now 70% and climbing. OG trying to pepper down the SSG end, but it's a hypercharge for Chino. Gadget goes out from OG. He needs these heals. Second best clobbers his way up the middle of the map, but it might be too little too late. SSG are just rotating in brawlers too quickly.
Chino does go down, but it's hard, really hard for OG to stand on the point. And now, at this point, they've got to push up past it. They can't really just fight for point control itself because SSG really don't have to spend long on it to end up winning the game. Second best probably knows it. Protesto's coming out now. Chino does at least get taken down. Hypercharge super thrown out, and Sands will probably get the rest of the percentage that's required. OG gets up close and personal with him. It's a very low health Code OG team, but they can now get back to full health. This is where the comeback starts, but it has to be centimeter perfect. It has to be unstoppable. Chino gets a touch, and even when stunned, he's able to accrue that capture percentage. And so Code OG finally put to bed a very competitive series.
I won! Yay!
Yeah, I don't mind it. The Colette good against the Frank, good against the Carl obviously as well. So we'll see how this one does play out. Suzuki going to be taking this lane against Creo and hoping that Levi can do a good enough job there in the mid against Cookie. And Stampo starting off well against Nene here as well. Getting him quite low. And the heat ejector didn't do too much, but it's a dangerous gadget to have in the locker.
Suku, left-hand side, trying to find the angle. Is actually doing pretty well. Still a replay there as well. Will suck him in, but still able to survive. And Cookie not going to get any value there from that gotcha gadget, which would heal him up if he gets to land the shots. But look at the connection there from Levi as well, pushing the ball to the right-hand side out of desperation. But look at this body blocking here from Zeta. Everyone lining up. There was only one option of that ball, and the only option was going in the goal.
Yeah, Buster Hypercharge ready to go. Actually choosing to just kind of Hypercharge after using the super there to get the boosted effects of that, rather than actually using the shield, considering everyone's in front of him. Now Cookie moving forwards, wants to try and score a goal here. Nene lining up there and chooses not to go for the ball there, surprisingly. I thought maybe there was a little bit of a goal scoring opportunity, but he thought better of it.
Pushing forwards now, not even utilising the Hypercharge, but just getting that additional speed and the buff going forwards to get the ball out of harm's way there as well. Good taps between Levi and Tampo. You can see there as well. That's the power of that Carl gadget. Hypercharge available for Tampo as well now. And a bit of a perilous position to really get the timing on using it, as that Colette now has got super, so can't really go and target Cookie in that regard. Good. Oh, I was going to say a good connection from Suzuki, but there comes the Buster shielding, and it just blew up in his face. Now a huge opening here for Niwa if they can get this goal scored. But Shatava comes in. The ball staves through, though, to the arms of Nini. They get it done on the side of Niwa. What a result. All tied up now in this game.
Really lovely knockback there from Nini going in just in the nick of time. Creo's going to go down here, though, to that Hypercharge of Levi. And Cookie has one of his own, but maybe just waiting for Stampo and Suzuki to line up here, but can't quite find that. Now using it, might be able to bring down the Frank with it, but chooses to focus quite heavily on Levi here. No gotcha gadget used to get him healed back up as well, which is going to leave him susceptible to this pinch. There it comes through. Suzuki has a super in hand, but Creo grabs the ball. Oh, brilliant pullback from Suzuki. And that's going to be the goal and game to Zeta Division as they start strong.
And locked in hard, but I mean, Niwa gave as good as they got, in my opinion, there as well. Some nice shutdowns of the Frank and got some opportunities for themselves as well. And look at this, already off to a good start here as well in a 3 versus 2 scenario. Slowly replay, already gadget popped. Oh, but there's them speaking about how well they're playing. That's a fumble.
Yeah, misses the goal completely. And to be honest, I think Levi maybe would have grabbed it if it was going in, but you've got to at least try and get it on target there, regardless of the chances of it going in or not. Cookie getting a good amount of supercharge here. Super's away from that Suzuki shot, and Nene going to come in to make it a 3v1 on the defensive line. Levi going to place down a slow, and that's a great slow as well. Really nice placement from him, and a good look of the draw. About the only time a slow would be useful, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not the preferred one to find in the pack, is it, for Chester? But nonetheless, definitely some good value there for Zeta. Now Cookie's just trying to wait things out with the Tampo, just dodging the heat ejector gadget. Everyone going to be dodging that for sure. Let's see now, Korea pushing forwards as well. Suzuki coming in to try and contest the situation as well. Cookie going to be pinched out there. That's going to be a good defense from Zeta. Actually, now Nini's cleared up the left-hand side. There's a potential here for something. Pushing the ball forwards. Suzuki with a start, with a push through again from Nini. The timing there had to be spot on, and he got it done. A goal on the board. The lead, most importantly, now for Niwa.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Niwa again, and Suzuki going to pop a hypercharge of his own to try and take back this lane from Creo. Misses the gadget though, and no pinch there, sadly. Super comes in now and actually misses that entire hypercharge, and Creo will block the super well. Stampo coming in with the hypercharge, but gets knocked back by Cookie, who is burnt down by the heat ejector. Levi trying to stop this, but don't believe there's much help. I take it back just about, and the shot comes through eventually, but I thought he was going to stop that then. Bringing it back to 1-1. Niwa bouncing back so well.
Almost defense, but this is what I'm saying about Niwa. They are giving as good as they're getting, and I think the comp can work, and they stay on their feet. The majority of the time, I would say they're getting more takedowns than Zeta, more trades as well. And this Buster, again, is proving to be a real problem. That additional speed from the speed gear as well, as already a pretty mobile brawler going forwards, and they just keep getting caught off guard. Let's see again, Levi on the left-hand side gets the connection, but we're going to survive, leaving an opening there for Nini, but this time it won't avail to a goal.
Really nice play from them once more. Seems to be heavily in control of this match, and a hypercharge already available for Creo. Stops Champo going forwards, getting pinched in so heavily though, and puts himself in a tough position. Cookie will use a super there. Not sure if it was necessary, but didn't get too much value from the gotcha gadget and forced to heal up the normal way. Creo pushing forwards, hypercharge in hand, goes for the slow-mo replay and lovely pull back again. Suzuki cleans up and Creo, they've just fallen apart. All three of them go down and a Pesh Sampo should result in a goal. And I thought that was going the complete opposite way.
Well, again, for a team like Zeta to be looking like they've met their match, actually, for me, that's a much-needed goal to get themselves sort of back into the aggressive stance. But I wouldn't be at all surprised if this set could even go the way of Niwa. The way they're playing, it's not out of the question here. But the aggressiveness coming forward there, Zeta now as well. Shitambo is going to be able to get to the ball as well. And Niwa dropped the ball big time there. That set could have been theirs. And instead, Zeta steal it from their clutches.
I won! Yay! Can I go home now?
So let's see how it's executed. Betiches is going to be using the shade shots to get through the wall. We'll see Zeus marching things forward. RBM with a lot of health, but cannot really get the damage that he needs on all these different targets. Being surrounded, and Jackie just does not have good reload speed. She cannot pump out damage reliably unless it's one big burst.
Okay, Batushi's there with a super, able to put a lot of pressure down through those walls. It looked like Hardy Hard had a counter crash here for RBM, so really just trying to make sure there's extra durability for this Jackie as, you know, she's expecting to take hits most of the time. There's the crescendo that comes on out. Nicely done. Super popped as well. Batushi's able to get the better in that matchup, and Zeus is scared of Alianis, who, again, had that super option against the Carl. And you're right, Reddy. You mentioned there's not a lot of good super targets for this Carl. We just saw Alianis there being more than happy to blow up Carl at close range.
It's also difficult for Jackie. I mean, both of these brawlers are sort of lacking in what they are capable of here, just with their built-in kit. Alianis almost took down Luffy there. Pass up to Betu, trying to pass the ball to himself, walks it through, gets it right between the legs of Zeus and Luffy to put one on the board for Eternal.
That extra durability when he pops super as Shade really goes a long way in moments like that. We've got supers up for the entirety of Eternal here, and Frixie getting pushed back, trying to hypercharge away from Luffy, but Luffy will have his just desserts. RBM here sees Alianis and an opportunity here to make a shot on goal if they can get past Batushi's. Luffy a little bit low. RBM also struggling, doesn't have a chance to pop super, but Frixie doesn't really have the output required. Luffy disrespects him and walks it in.
Eternal really need the Maisie to be online in order to get that goal defended. Let's see, initial offense in from Bettiches gets burned by the gadget from Luffy and taken down, but Oleanis is still going to be a big thorn in their sides. Gets 2 aggro, supered in by RBM, who can now just walk it through. That's the game right there. As soon as Maisie falls, all of this falls apart. Tribe can simply death ball up the field when there's no CC waiting for them.
Be to burst RBM down, not just the Hardy Hard Hat, but also the Crescendo healing and DeCapo healing as well from this Poco. You've got to respect these kind of comps. This is Tribe Gaming's bread and butter. They know exactly how much damage they can afford to take in this tank composition. But Zeus does lose in the bottom here to Frixie, which means that he has to double back, and Bertucci's will recover the ball.
RBM trying to get a kill en route to getting closer to Poco for some heals, and it's good. Betchiz now looking for the kill. Nope. Gonna get sucked in by RBM Super. Now Frixie is the sole defender, just keeping this line of scrimmage right in front of the boxes so that Oleanis can get in the corner where he is needed. But hopefully Oleanis learned his lesson. Not to get too aggro versus RBM and Zeus, otherwise he could end up falling before his real time to strike, which is at the goal line. Here comes RBM looking for that super. Oleanis completely left alone as everyone else has been scattered from the goal, and that gets 1 for Tribe.
It's so powerful. That Poco hypercharge ready is ridiculous. Getting 3,000 to 4,000 health of overshield is ridiculous, and there comes RBM slowing people down with the hypercharge and able to cycle that super. It's an open and shut case, folks. Eternal got booked here on Brawl Ball.